Hi guys, I hope you are having a very cold July wherever you are. Welcome to another episode of Bullish Banter, and today we are flying again international with an international guest from our neighboring country, Uganda. And as usual, I'm your host Jesse, joined by Rufus. Maybe you can introduce yourself.
Hi guys, this is Rufus Kabau, markets analyst at FXPesa. Today we are going to be having a very interesting session. We will be looking at trading with a key perspective in Kampala, Uganda, and of course try to learn the key developments in the industry.
Our guest, Patrick, maybe you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Patrick, CEO of Forex Monsters, and I'm glad to have you guys around here. Also.
Welcome. You said you flew in today, and the Nairobi weather is kind of very warm to you, I believe.
I believe that's a joke.
It's
quite freezing, but of course we're good to go.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this week has been quite eventful. I believe you as a trader, you have seen what is happening in the markets. I don't know, maybe do you normally trade news, or you are a person who maybe focuses on some degree of structure in your approach to trading?
Well, at some extent, I don't actually trade news.
Okay.
But then I always utilize the rest of the days.
Okay.
I focus on trading, most especially. I trade a lot of gold.
Okay.
I trade a lot of gold that's throughout the week. So
okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of your trading background, maybe how did you come about it, and what made you stick?
So how I started trading?
Yes.
Personally, I'm from Uganda, but I'm not a Ugandan.
Mm-hmm.
South Sudanese.
Interesting.
Sure. So I came to Uganda as a refugee.
Okay.
And then, of course, I started by doing a lot of, being a refugee.
Mm-hmm.
Being a refugee in a camp. Of course, like as a young man, I wasn't comfortable being there.
Okay.
I wasn't comfortable being there, and of course, I kept trying to find out ways of maybe breaking that poverty line, because I was there with my entire family.
Okay.
And then by that time, I made a lot of research trying to find out what business could be suitable. Everyone, his approach as far as trading is concerned is always getting rich quickly. And
yes.
Just branching out of that poverty line. And surely, when I saw all those fancy pictures and stuff like that, I got inspired, man. Like many people have shown a lot of progress in the market.
Okay.
And then, of course, that's how I started learning the business. But of course, it was hard.
Okay.
Given the fact that the mentality about getting rich quickly usually blows out a lot of beginner traders.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually when they're quitting the market that they realize the truth about the market.
Okay.
Because they're always blinded about how about getting rich quickly, so they don't focus more on learning.
Okay.
So I personally went through that. I had a lot of losing streaks.
Okay.
I had a lot of losing streaks when I was starting. Eventually, I wanted to get rich quickly, so I didn't focus on adopting more knowledge,
Okay.
So, I lost a lot, but then at the end of the day, I always learn from my mistakes, and eventually I keep improving, and then becoming a better trader.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned something about gold. Gold is one of those assets that I know a lot of traders focus on, and they try to understand it.
Yeah, sure.
The most volatile.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually volatile. It's volatile.
Okay. So what made you stick to it? Did you try all the other everythings and then say, okay, this is what I want to make so that I can, get to where you want to be financially?
Actually, when you do your research, you realize in Uganda, many people trade gold.
Okay.
Many people trade gold, and it's actually because of me. It's I have very many guys, very many people there in my trading channels.
Okay.
And they usually follow up me. So the reason as to why I focus on gold, I remember from the start when I just started trading, I discovered a secret. I can call it a hack because it worked for me a lot. Yeah, okay. I discovered some hack on when you are correlating pairs.
Okay.
Yeah? It's eventually the reason as to why I decided to focus more on gold, because of course you said it's volatile, and then I quit news.
Okay.
It's volatile. It gives me exactly what I want. Yeah. So usually the scale I adopted was when you relate these four pairs.
Okay.
Yeah? For example, you have GBP/USD positively relating with Euro USD.
Yes.
And of course have that positive relation with gold. Yeah. And then you monitor those three pairs properly. You realize that, of course, when they have a positive relation, the only thing you should put in your mind is the fact that they should always at some point move the same direction at some point. You get so like I would have chose GBP/USD. Yeah. But then, of course, I relate the volumes.
Okay.
You know? I relate the volumes.
Okay.
So I would have chosen GBP/USD or Euro USD, but then I decide to go with gold because at least it gives me a good volume whenever I trade.
Okay.
And then, of course, it is volatile. And then it is, of course, it is highly traded.
Yeah.
Many people are trading it. Yeah.
Yesterday in the afternoon, there was some news coming in from the US.
Yep.
Where ADP non-farm payrolls basically showed that the US private sector created 497,000 jobs. And that was huge. It was more than double the expectation. So as a result, we saw a very big spike in gold.
Yeah.
So how do you accommodate for such news that cause volatility in your trading?
So usually, of course, the first thing is to make sure you are aware. You are aware of if there are news. Yeah. So the fact is that I'm very conscious whenever there are any kind of events or such news that are going to be happening in the market. So I like just like yesterday. I mean, I had some trades. Running.
Yes.
And then I think I missed out on that actually.
Yeah.
I missed out on that. Yeah. So I found myself in a very huge loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was running. I was running an account of $3,000 yesterday.
Yeah.
And then I literally found myself in a drawdown of up to something like 2,000. You see, I nearly blew the account. So usually, like I told you, I like focusing on like just a freelance market. Yeah. When there's nothing happening, there's nothing intervening. So whenever there are such news, I personally, with my trading style, I always want to make sure that I at least seize my trades. I seize my trades. I rather close them, in case there is anything. And it is wise for a beginner trader, someone who is out there who's planning to trade. If you're not yet familiar with the news, it's better whenever they are happening, you close your trades. It doesn't matter whether you are in a what?
Okay.
In a... at least, apply some risk management. Apply some risk management. You could leave some running. You never know what the news still can do.
Jesse, I hope you are taking notes.
Yes, I am.
So even if you don't participate in news announcements, it's important to know when they are actually happening so that you stay off to avoid the kind of volatility that comes after news announcements.
Yeah,
sure.
I think that's a really good point.
Definitely. You mentioned something very interesting. I'd like to take you back. When you are having a drawdown, I know this is a question most traders struggle. It's like a battle. And I know we have covered this before, Rufus. When you are having a drawdown and some news is coming, but in your analysis, you're quite confident about the move.
You're quite confident.
Yeah. So, do you maybe adjust the stop loss? Do you get panicky? What goes through your head and what decisions do you make? And is it something that you've practiced so many times that you're just like a robot now? So you're just letting it go?
I like such questions. Because actually, if I'm to talk about my trading journey, I think I'm a trader who really takes psychology to another level. My whole trading journey is all about psychology. It's all about psychology. So usually when you get to that situation where you are holding trades, and you're literally in a drawdown, and of course there are news that are about to come in, at some point a trader who is out there who is driven by emotions. There are traders that are driven by emotions. At that point, they start panicking. That's the fact. If you're driven by emotion, it doesn't matter whether whether you know the market is later on going to go to your direction. It's going to be hard for them to do what? To close such trades. It's going to be hard for them to close such trades. But then eventually, at the end of the day, you're not sure. However much you're confident that the market could go up, still the market could do the opposite. You know? So it is very important for such a trader, if you know that you are that type of trader that at some point you're going to involve in emotions when you're trading, at least make sure you have managed your risks in the first place. It's like I always tell the people I teach or I meet that any amount you invest it in the market or you risk in the market. I mean, what is a risk? First things first. What's a risk? A risk is a situation exposed to danger. You get that?
Yes.
So it's very important to make sure that whenever you're risking, you're sure of what you're risking.
Yes.
Because you can't count on cheese that is meant to grab a mouse for lunch. You know,
Yeah.
If you've risked anything, you can count for it. You've exposed it to danger. So surely, at the end of the day, in the first place, you have to make sure that you ensured proper risk management. So the drawdown is actually you're actually aware of the drawdown. In case you're in drawdown, you're aware of how much you'd lose at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, let me assume, of course, you risked $200. You sure if you're in a drawdown of maybe 150, you're sure that at the end of the day, if the market is hitting your stop loss,
Okay.
it's grabbing $200,000, $200. You know, so that keeps you confident. At the end of the day, you can even let your trades run during the news time. You know,
okay.
so eventually, of course, there are those traders who are going to risk a lot of money.
Yeah.
Maybe you have 10,000, you've literally put no stop loss. I assume you are strong psychologically. That's the fact that, that's the fact. If you're risking an account of 10,000, I believe you are psychologically strong because eventually it is a risk. So you've decided that whole amount to be a risk. You've exposed it to
Full
the
margin,
danger.
basically.
Yeah, you've exposed it to the volatility, full margin. So it's definitely true that money can go. You know,
Okay.
it doesn't matter how confident you are with your strategy.
Yeah.
How confident you are with your trading style and how confident you are with the news, still anything can happen. So surely if you've decided to go full margin, then expect that money to get lost at some point.
Actually, I have a really good example. Earlier this week, I had a trader who basically inboxed me. I won't mention the name for privacy purposes. This trader had a balance of $1,200, and then they entered some short selling positions in gold, and I think it was pound USD. So surprisingly, the market was going up, and they were down like $300. So the equity in the account was about $900. So they came to me with a very common question. Do you think it will come back?
Yeah.
So I normally get a lot of those. So in my response, I was very straightforward to him. I was like, right now, at this moment as we speak, your equity, the amount of money you have in that account is $900. So you should adjust mentally that this is your new account balance.
Yeah.
So whatever happens from here, it's either you decide to continue holding onto this risk, or you decide to exit the losing position and then look for a better position. So for me, I think whenever you go into a position, it's very important to predetermine your risk, but also it's also way more important to try and conceptualize your current balance.
Okay.
So the amount of money that you have in your account balance is not the same as the equity in your account as long as you have running trades.
Yeah.
So you should always focus on the equity rather than the balance.
Okay. Yep.
So in that case, you'll be in the right set of mind to make a decision about your account.
Okay.
Sure, yeah. You focus on your equity. That's for real.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the day, what you said is right. When you're holding a trade, and of course, your equity is alarming. Yeah. When your equity is alarming, then you have to. At some point, it can determine whether you're supposed to continue with the trade or you exit.
Now, it also happens the other way around. For instance, let's say you deposit $1,000 in an account, you trade upwards, and then let's say in a month you have a really good month and you double that account. So now you have $2,000.
Yeah.
So most beginner traders will be thinking, I have my original equity of $1,000 and an additional $1,000 that I can play with in the markets.
Yeah.
So you'll find that kind of thinking in the market. So the people will be more willing to take higher risks with the extra $1,000 than with the original $1,000. So the thing is, if you keep adjusting your mental framework, then you should know that $2,000 is your money, and you should apply the same risk approach as if you had worked really hard, maybe as if it came in from your savings.
Yeah.
So that way you'll always be very focused on the risk you're taking.
Yeah. Would you consider yourself a full-time trader?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a full-time trader because even if I don't trade, I have a responsibility behind me. Yeah.
Okay.
I have students and I have people taking benefits from my signals and stuff
Okay.
like that. So
Yeah.
surely it's a task for me to always make sure I'm on the charts and make sure
Okay.
at least I release a trade.
Okay. Now, maybe in Uganda, what is the trading scene like? Because I know with the latest academy that FXPesa has opened in Uganda, it is set to address the issue of maybe understanding not only about trading, but also personal finance. So to you, of course, after your first achievement in maybe you have the consistent results in your trading, profitable, I might assume. How did you go about managing your finance to ensure that now, even though you're trading and you understand the risks, you also have like, some sort of, do I put it like a blanket or a cushion for the, foreseeable future? How do you look and manage your finances?
So, well, from the beginning, of course, it was hard for me to generate some money
Okay.
to start trading.
Okay.
Yeah. Getting the capital for me to start trading was a little hard for me.
Okay.
Like I told you, my story is quite different.
Yeah.
I started up from the comp.
Okay.
And then eventually, as a beginner trader, it's gonna be hard for you growing small accounts. I mean, I was not privileged. Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have enough funds for me to start trading.
Yeah.
And of course, I started slowly by sharing my ideas about trading.
Okay.
And of course, I realized many Ugandans were picking interest.
Okay.
Given the fact that it was a new thing. So I picked an idea of selling.
Okay.
Yeah, of selling my courses, selling a course, depending on what I knew by then. I started selling my course and then selling signals. So that's how I was able to generate some money to rather put into the market in the first place. It wasn't too much by then because I was personally just starting. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, by that time, I realized actually my breakthrough in the markets, it was the first sales that I made.
Okay.
It was after the first sales that I made. I mean, I think by that time I made up to something like $1,500
Okay.
from selling.
Yeah.
But before I was trading eventually. And I was losing a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I was losing a lot. And then given the fact that I didn't have enough money, just like, of course, investing something like 50 is taken, trying so hard the next day,
Okay.
you raise 60 to maybe 200 and then all of a sudden it's also gone,
Okay.
So surely when I made those sales and then got some good capital, that's when I realized consistency.
Okay.
Yeah? I realized consistency. So my advice to anyone out there who's also trying to manage the finance and maybe growing the business as far as trading is concerned, like, I mean, I believe at the end of the day, because I've gotten this question actually from many guys, yeah, I believe at the end of the day, when you are a trader, you will still need a side income. As a trader, you need a side income. It doesn't matter whether you are a full trader or you are a part-time trader, you will still need a side income.
Okay.
I agree,
Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
You need a side income.
What would you say is the number one impact that FXPesa is having by opening an office in Kampala?
Yep.
What would you say is the number one impact that FXPesa is making by establishing an office in Kampala?
So, actually, the first thing that they have done, I think, from my perspective,
Yes.
FXPesa have literally changed the perception of people about trading.
Yes.
By putting up that office, many people have gained more trust about trading because they have an immediate place to go and make inquiries.
Yes.
Just in case like they need to make any inquiries as far as trading. So like it's actually boosting awareness as well.
Yes.
It's boosting awareness. Yeah, the fact that they are available in their own ground boosts awareness, and then it is giving beginners a good platform to start learning.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for that. Maybe in regards to now, of course, what we expect in the year. I know today we are having NFP and everything. So for your beginner traders, maybe, and of course in the future of trading, do you see yourself maybe for those whom you train, let's say informing them, because I know not all traders are risk averse. There are those who are, like you said, 10,000, they're willing to full margin it. Do you train those, or do you, give them an idea of how to approach it in terms of risk and, of course, in terms of when to approach the markets?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, the fact that I'm not trading NFP now or news events right now, it doesn't mean I haven't traded them way before. Yeah,
okay.
Sure. So of course, like I can relate the times I won and then the times I lost.
Okay.
And so I can simply give a bit of advice accordingly. So surely, if those people who are there and of course trading news events, the only advice I could give them is first and foremost is to be conscious, regardless whether they're going to risk it all. Because at the end of the day, trading is it messes with our mind. It's a mind game. That's the fact. If you're going to go full margin or not, make sure you're conscious about losing or winning. That's the first thing. And then eventually, the other thing is like when you're going to take, after maybe your analysis and of course after finding your direction, you always have to go in. I always go in 5 minutes before the news. You go in 5 minutes before the news. And then make sure that at least you take technical analysis valuable. But then at the end of the day, after your fundamental analysis, technical analysis is so valuable. At the end of the day, the market structure can still impact the market, the trend and stuff like that, they can still be impactful in the market, and they can cause if you neglect that, they can cause you maybe to mess up in the market.
Excellent. Now, I know you are very big on social media, and this will definitely sort of satisfy or the urges and curiosity of a lot. You are quite flashy with your lifestyle. How do you respond to, say, allegations that sometimes most of them are not really from trading? Because I know...
especially if you're on Twitter, Instagram.
Instagram specifically.
You get some people saying, oh, this is fake results, this is scam. How do you respond to that?
So I've actually gotten those a lot. But then at the end of the day, it's all about proving them that you're making the money of the markets. Of course, you show them. You always make sure you're clear when you tell someone that you are trading and that's how you're making the money. Show them your real account. You always show them the real account. You show them the process, and at the end of the day, you get you be an example. You lead by example. I mean, you make sure you've mentored someone and they're also doing what. Because it's gonna be hard for someone to be like, you're not a profitable trader or you're not eventually trading when you have a student who is literally performing and is, he's like, he can serve a good example. If you have students, if your students are progressing, there's no way someone is going to deny the fact that you're not making money off the market.
So basically, you base your success on those whom you have mentored. How they are succeeding. Interesting. Perhaps because I believe you take trading as a brand or something like that, and over the last 10 years, we can agree, Rufus, that the industry has really changed. It has people. We have seen traders actually going to become brokers.
Actually, back in the day, we used to have these NFP traders. So these guys would not participate in the markets at all. So they would be only researching one event, the non-farm payrolls. So those days, it used to be a big event. So we didn't have inflationary pressure. So all the focus for the Fed was on the job market. So every time there was an announcement in the non-farm payrolls, it would cause a big spike in gold, in oil, in major indices, dollar pairs. And they would just select one asset, trade it, make the money or lose some money. If they lose, they wait for the next NFP. If they make money, then they would like party the whole month until the next NFP. These days, I don't think NFP is moving markets as much.
Yeah, there have been a lot of upcoming events. Like I know today in the morning I was looking
CPI
at
is the new NFP.
CPI is actually at some point I
FOMC
trade
as well.
CPI.
Yeah.
At some point I trade CPI, but I let the first spike go.
It's actually next week.
Yeah.
So
We'll see.
it's going to be a big event.
Yeah. Back to the question, where do you see maybe your brand, and obviously in the coming years, what is the plan for Patrick?
Well, the fact is that we have pushed it. We have pushed it, and to this extent, just like you guys said, well, I would also like to look at the bigger picture.
Yes.
Yeah, I would like to look at the bigger picture at some point, like becoming a brokerage. You know,
That's an expensive affair, right?
definitely it is. So it's gonna be worth the hard work.
Okay.
Yeah. It's gonna be worth the hard work.
Nice one. Maybe another question. Beside, of course, still within the looking in the future, when you make those windfall profits, and obviously I wouldn't want to call them windfall, but you say sustained positive results. Do you like invest in other sectors? Do you how do you now manage the returns?
Where do you keep the bag?
I think that's a good
Take
thing.
some water for that. Yeah, so personally, just the fact that I'm growing.
Yeah.
It's been 4 years in the journey.
Or you party a lot.
Okay, just to give you an update.
It is now.
For him,
Let's be clear.
I know he's parking some money in Safaricom shares.
Yeah.
For me, aside, I try to park some money in Bitcoin. Yeah. So that's the nature.
Okay.
of the
Eventually, about that, I have some money on real estate.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a couple of Airbnbs. In Uganda. I have up to something like 30, and then I'm actually planning on constructing a whole apartment.
Okay.
Thing. And then at the end of the day, like I told you, I'm just growing. So like.
You'll
My
see.
family and everything, we've been so I'm privileged, and so far I've been like more of trying to create a home for my people.
Interesting.
So eventually, got my mom a house, got her a car, got myself also some cars, stuff like that. And I'm growing, I'm partying a lot, actually. Yeah.
That's quite very sentimental and positive in that regard. Maybe what are your closing remarks? And of course,
Well, it is my first time visiting your office.
Yeah.
And I can say you guys, the environment is conducive. You guys are welcoming.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited, of course, getting to interact with you guys later on.
Okay.
And happy to have you, to be with you guys, share some ideas on this podcast.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. So, what's your other name? Are you a Grang, a Mabior? You mentioned you're from South Sudan. I expected something.
WanPatrique,
WanPatrique.
WAN.
Oh, nice.
Sure.
Thank you very much, Patrick. It has been a pleasure. I hope to all our listeners, maybe you ever heard or learned one or two things. Feel free to, of course, share your questions. Maybe Patrick will respond, and maybe share, subscribe. Hope to have you in the next one. Enjoy your rest of your day.